Alright. Let us continue on with more Apologies to Ace Attorney Trilogy. I don't know how much time I have. I don't think we'll start Spirit of Justice today. If I can get this uploaded sooner, I may. Is this also like not? Alright. If I get Spirit of Justice started today, I should start it for a second. Let's just make sure everything's working first while I'm going through all this, because I'm not going to start straight away. I probably only have about 2 hours, but I think we should be able to finish Destinies today. Basically we have just the last trial section to do, to figure out who the culprit is. And if it gets to the 2 hour point we have finished it, or whatever time I have to get off and finish it, then I will probably upload the video and try and do another stream. If we can, if not, then we'll see how it goes. If I finish this before the 2 hours, then we'll probably just start on Spirit of Justice. May as well. I don't know why not. We might as well just do that. I was going to start sooner, but again, I had to wait for like the YouTube stuff to upload, so I will just start here. I don't really have much else to really say, so let's get things started right now. Let's keep going. For some reason, my activity feed for Twitch is like showing a black bar, but I don't know what's going on, so I'll just leave it. I'm not gonna close down OBS. I don't like OBS in the first place, so I'll just deal with it. It is what it is. So yeah, we're probably gonna finish this case regardless, one way or another. And we either will or will not start Spirit of Justice and do a little bit of that. It might be a short stream today, but we'll just, we'll see. We'll see how much time we have. From what I remember, we're almost at the end of this trial right now, so, this case has already been 6.5 hours, so we'll see how much time we have left. And then we'll go ahead and, do whatever we have to think.
Objection!
Can you prove that statement?
Objection!
Okay, also make sure that everything else is working, because everything else looks like it's delayed. Stream looks good. All feed stuff looks fine. Volume looks like it's good as well. I think everything's good. Should be fine. Let's see what's happening. What's with him? Guess this is also high tech for Prosecutor Blackwell. That it's making him a little funny. Funny? Yes. I find this all very funny. Witness those sensors send sound waves through the water, correct? But what if there isn't any water? And they wouldn't work. They would automatically switch off. I see. And where is the sensor in the orca pool located? I don't know. Jack is the one who attached it to me. Attached it for me. You don't know? Then I will tell you. The police found a sensor just like the one you just showed us. They found it attached to the table at the bottom of the pool. Table? Oh, right, yeah, Do you mean the table in this photograph? That's right. Don't you get it yet, right, Dono? The table is on the Skull Rock side of the partition. It's affixed to the bottom of the pool and can't be moved. And if so, if the water was drained from the Skull Rock side of the pool, precisely, without water, the torpedo sensor would not work. Witness, when did that sensor automatically switch off? Hang on, I'll go look it up. Many times lately were during cleaning 2 days ago, and the investigation yesterday. Of course, I knew the pool would be drained. Well, they cleaned it. But I had no idea they drained it for the investigation. No one let me know. That's why I didn't know about all this condition yesterday. The crowd really did want to save Orla. Did you hear that right, Dono? Yes, the water can be drained without harm to the... orca if the partition is used. But if the water is drained from the Skullrock side, the sensor turns itself off. If the sensor was always on except during the cleaning and the investigation, it means there must have been water in the pool at all other times. It was never drained. In other words, no one but the defender could have committed the crime. Maybe it's a good thing this is a short stream. Plus, we're gonna get new characters in Spirit of Justice, so it's gonna be new voices. Order! Order in the court! This completely shot us the defense's argument. Fact still remains that Orla was nearly killed with Dr. Crab's sleeping drug.
Objection!
But aren't you forgetting one important question? When was the sleeping drug given to the orca? Right, that hasn't been discussed yet, has it? The orca pool is the scene of the murder. The police were there all day yesterday. The only way to give the drug to the orca undetected is to put it in her food. Yesterday, someone gave the orca food during the trial. Someone did? I'm afraid I don't remember that. You don't remember? You're not that old yet, are you? It was the defendant, Sasha Buckler. So that is the orca that stands accused, is it? Oh, she's waving a flipper at us. Maybe she's cheering us on. Well, I wish Phoenix and Athena luck. So your argument is that Miss Buckler is the one who gave the orca the drug. The prosecution's argument hasn't changed. Buckler made the victim fall to his death, and then manipulated the orca to pin it on her. Still not satisfied, she further planned to kill the orca with the sleeping drug. Didn't hear any reports of Dr. Crab feeding Orla. Maybe he didn't have a hand in Orla's attempted murder after all. Is there anybody else who could have fed Orla besides Sasha? If true the defendant is the one who fed the sleeping drug to the orca, then that places even more suspicion on her than ever.
Objection!
Defense objects to the prosecution's claims. Well, you still haven't admitted defeat. Prosecutor Blackwell, don't appreciate the way you only mention the parts that are convenient for you. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Prosecutor failed to mention that Miss Buckler wasn't the only one to feed Orla. You will all recall, there was another person who gave Orla food. You mean that person? Looks like Athena remembers now, too. Congrats, Sasha. Time to celebrate. Go on, eat up. Mr. Wright, no! Don't want to believe it either, but we can't ignore the truth. The other person who fed Orla during the trial was, obviously, the only other person to feed them during the trial was you.
Take that!
You're the only other person. Please recall when Orla was found not guilty yesterday. Hang on a second, did that not do something? Marlon Waynes gave the orca a large quantity of food. If the sleeping drug was mixed in with that food, it could have been given to the orca without arousing police suspicion. Now that you mention it, I do remember that flip-flopper feeding the orca.
Objection!
So you remembered, did you? I see the time for the true sword fight has come. I call Marlon Rhymes to the stand. Did I put a finale in the thing? I think I did, actually. Yeah. Let me check something. Yeah, we did. Okay, that's fine. Mr. Lawyer, both Miss Orca Lover and Marlon Rhymes are important members of our crew. I don't want to suspect either of them, but I'm ready to accept whatever truth you find. Here, take this. A charm. It's the charm that matches the one Azura Summers had, isn't it? So you and Miss Summers were romantically involved, weren't you, Mr. Crab? Or Dr. Crab, I should say. I keep wanting to say Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs, Dr. Zoidberg. What? No, of course not. Sorry to disappoint you, but this doesn't belong to me. At the time, I thought it was Azura's, so I grabbed it. But it wasn't hers. Now it's up to you, Mr. Lawyer, to figure out whose charm it is. Well, thank you, Dr. Crab. After all, I'm sitting in the outcome of this trial, too. Now then, please summon Marlon Rhymes to the witness stand. What's going on? What's everybody making that face for? I haven't been watching the trial and nobody's told me anything. Marlon Rhymes? You are under suspicion for the attempted murder of the Orca. I see. Well, if it isn't already out. Mr. Rhymes? Is he really going to admit it? Fine, I'll tell the truth. Oh, he's going straight into the witness testimony. Okay. Okay, the truth. Sasha is lying to protect that orca. At 3:30 AM on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the shoal pool. Orca killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water. So I thought the orca should pay the consequences. Oh, we're back to the orca again? Did not see that testimony coming. Now, wait just 1 minute. Fix this damn keyboard. Figure out how to do it. Yesterday, Ola was proven innocent. Besides, you said Ola was in the show pool during the cleaning. Didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's what I didn't tell the truth. The fact is, all three of us, Captain, Sasha, and me, were cleaning the pool room. Dr. Crab and Miss Barker both said you were at the show stage. Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him. Didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood. Sasha is lying to protect the orca. She can't tell the truth. Sasha put blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake blood stain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the orca. So Ryan, how can you lie like that? The truth. Besides, wouldn't it be better for you if you wasn't lying? If the orca did it, you win your case. This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rhymes' story is true, Miss Buckler would be innocent, and the orca would be the killer. I mean, if we turned our backs on Ola, you could save Sasha. Having a witness lie to save your own client? What a dirty, underhanded tactic, right, Dono?
Objection!
Yesterday, the defense proved Orla was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the orca did it, and Sasha goes free. Isn't a lawyer supposed to act in his client's best interest? That wouldn't be acting in her interest. Miss Buckler believes Orla is innocent. And we, of course, believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent, too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict will destroy our client's faith in us. That's right. We believe in both Miss Buckler and Orla's innocence. Just don't understand how you can treat a human and an orca equally. Sasha or the orca can only save one of them. I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. All I have to do is disprove your testimony. Oh yeah? Then go ahead and try. We'll do just that. If I can't tear down his testimony, I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and start tearing. Alright, let's go. Let's start dealing with this this case today. Again, press all the statements because we get a bit of additional information each time usually. Sometimes they progress the story, but most times they don't. Usually the only time pressing progresses the story is if it gives you an additional statement, and then at that point you know that that statement you usually have to present some evidence. What exactly did you claim Miss Buckler is lying about? Such put that blood stain on the skull rock and stuff herself as false evidence. She should have faked traces to try and set the Yorker.
Objection!
Witness, if you keep talking nonsense, I will seal your mouth shut! The defense supports the prosecution's idea. Mr. Wright, my testimony helps your client. You ought to be happy. I want to save both All or Miss Buckler. I won't accept anything less. Now that's understood. Please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
When the victim was killed, how much water was in the pool? Just before the pool was drained for cleaning, so it was full. You went into the Orca pool room and saw this yourself? Dr. Crabbe said that you were at the show stage.
Objection!
But it's possible that Dr. Crabbe was misinformed, or that he misunderstood. The witness already explained this. Why are you talking this meaningless talk? If you want to play games, Tiger here would be more than happy to play with you. Better be careful how you press the witness. Tiger is watching us like a hawk. Witness continue.
Hold it!
You're saying the incident took place before the cleaning began? Yeah, I guess so. Captain Sasha and I were gonna go do the cleaning together. It's much more efficient than trying to have just one person do it alone. In the defense's case, however, more lawyers means simply more lawyers, nothing more. You all want to talk, all you have on your side is a cantankerous bird. What about me? I'm up here all alone. You people done? You need the witness to keep you focused. For shame, Great Dodo. Hey, I was the only one who kept my mouth shut. Anyway, the incident happened in the Orca pool, before the cleaning got started.
Hold it!
Can an orca even do that? Send a person flying up into the air like that? Of course. I've seen orcas bashing seals 60 feet into the air. So naturally, Orla could do that to the captain too. What a frightening thought. And you mentioned it so casually, Mr. Rhymes. Well, what else can I say? It's the truth. Mr. Rhymes is claiming that Orla killed the victim by sending him flying into thin air, or into the air, sorry. Would something like that even be possible in the Orca pool room? Something about that statement that bothers me. And so you witnessed the moment the victim was killed by the Orca, is that right? Exactly.
Hold it!
And that's why you put the sleeping drug in Orla's food. Oh, ahoy, yo, 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 ho, ho, ho. Sasha could be guilty if you let her be, but if the orca died, Sasha could go free. If the orca was already dead, Sasha might tell the truth and free herself. It might seem cruel, but a man killing an animal has to be put down. Copper must have tried to do away with Orla because she was a witness to the crime. But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he try to protect Sasha? Sensing some very complex emotions from Mr. Rhymes. Need more information before I can do a proper analysis. Okay, so we're gonna have to present some information here, And then the next thing of information we present is going to probably lead us to a mood matrix segment, I think. If I'm going to tear down his testimony, then I guess I have to present evidence. Of course, we don't believe Mr. Rhymes' testimony. He's suggesting the murder took place in the orca pool. Unless we can disprove that, we won't be able to save both Orla and Sasha. Alright, so we'll, So, Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water. We are going to use the data from... we're going to use this. Because we have a lot of information about the actual, thing here. The cause of death was a contusion from head trauma, thought to be from a fall into the pool. And then a blow to head after the death.
Objection!
When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time it's no different. Are you saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimony? That's exactly what I'm saying. The claim that the victim was sent flying about 30 feet into the air. But the autopsy report shows the apparent cause of death to be from a 65-foot fall. Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 AM on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. The pool being 65 feet deep, there's only 30 feet between the water and ceiling. If the pool was full of water as you claimed, it would be impossible for the victim to fall about 65 feet, as the autopsy states. Mr. Rhymes claims he was in the orca pool room, so he could make these statements. The truth must be, he was at the show stage just as Dr. Crab and Sasha testified. I believe that brings us back to the orca didn't do it. I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I am grateful to you, right, Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. The fact still remains whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the orca or not. Mr. Rhinus was right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. Pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner. As Prosecutor Blackwell said, suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened. Uh-oh, if I don't do something fast, the judge is gonna find Sasha guilty. Mr. Wright, isn't there anything we can do? Has to be a way to prove Sasha is innocent. At a time like this, the thing to do is turn my thinking around. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think about what made it possible for someone else to have done it. As long as the crime scene is the orca pool room, and Sasha is the only one who could have committed the crime. No need for pity or boldness, just finish him off with a certain verdict. It appears the defense has no objections. Very well, I will give my verdict.
Hold it!
Your Honor, please hold off on that verdict. But you are so quiet, Mr. Wright. Do you have something to say now? The defense has a counter-argument. You do? Pitiful. Such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? Worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I'll never forget those words, no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to him with a smile. We have bluffed our way through court before, so... What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else? The scene of the crime? Somewhere else? What? You're finding fault with the police investigation now? As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the orca pool room. Only the defendant and victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only the defendant could have committed the crime. That's correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime. Sure you know where you're going with this? Might not be too sure, but I can't back down now. Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but isn't this one of your bluffs by any chance? I mean, this isn't the first time I've bluffed our way through a courtroom. Sometimes the bluff actually does hold some sort of relevance to the case, typically. Of course not. The judge knows me far too well. And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was? Yes, of course. Think Phoenix, think. Think of a place other than the orca pool room where one could fall to one's death. Then by all means, please show your theory with the court. Where was the real scene of the murder? Well, if we're saying that it wasn't in the orca pool, then the only other place for someone to fall 65 feet would be in the show pool. Now, I'm guessing the way that we explain this is, again, there was a piece of evidence that showed that, so the way it worked was like you could drain, I think they could drain the water in between both pools. So the idea is if the show pool existed, so if there was no show going on, the orca would be in the orca pool filled with water. And when they needed to have it out for the show, they would have it in the show pool and they would transfer it via the crane system here. So I'm guessing what's happened is the murder took place here somehow. And because remember the rock was found in the orca pool, but they switched the rock over to here for the new exhibit. So I still think it happened here because again the whole I think there's like a system that allows them to transfer the water from one pool to the other. So and when we saw the pictures of the orca pool when it was by itself, it was like split in half. And while they were cleaning one side, the orca could still be in with the other side in like a water area. So it has to be in the show pool in this case.
Take that!
Slow stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well. If so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there is the orca pool. I don't know. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. I will as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the orca pool. How do you explain that?
Objection!
How about if after the victim was killed in the slow stage pool, his body was moved to the orca pool? How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You had better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. So turning back now, I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? The only thing that we know of is this particular railing has the hooks here, and the way that it works is they can lift the orca out of this pool using like a giant like flag. And then they're able to carry that orca through the area, which leads out to the show pool. So you would assume that it works both ways, that if they want to transfer the orca from one pool to the other, they can use this this system here. Because there's no in these pools, there's no actually I just realized that now there wasn't a connection between the two. For a second I thought they mentioned that there was, but maybe there wasn't.
Take that!
It might still be. All I know is that there's not enough room for... An orca is massive, so there's no way you can have, like, make a giant enough hole for an orca to swim through to do 2 different pools without it being... thing, I guess. Hoist runs between the orca pool room and the show stage. Stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like all over the Skull Rock. The stretcher could have also been used to move the dead body. Yes, if the stretcher can move the orca or the Skull Rock, it seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. Well, somehow that worked. I might just be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it.
Objection!
You desperately spew conjecture and now you can't even make up a crime scene. There you go, the cups again. David, not again. You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the orca ballroom only. And the only person who entered the orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. Order! So it comes back to the defendant no matter which pool it was. Meaning, I can't clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved all on the Skull Rock. I don't believe her. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim? Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? I mean, do we have it? You bet I have one, or I have no objection. I'm assuming that we... Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? It's leading back to them either way, so I think we have to say that we don't have any objections. I'm not sure we have a choice in the matter here. Because what objection would we have to the defendant moving the body? Because the defendant can move the body, sure, but that doesn't mean that, they killed the person, either. So I don't think we have any objections to that. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No, I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. She also could have moved it without knowledge, yeah, that's the thing as well. I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that is what she was doing, so that's the other thing as well. She could have been the only one to move the body, but she would have been unaware. Culprit made her move it, unbeknownst to her. The defendant moved the dead body without recognizing it was a dead body? How could that be possible? Body was found inside the orca pool. It must have been moved there somehow. Might find some kind of hint in the things she moved with the stretcher. Culprit made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence. Okay, what have we got? The evidence would be the Skull Rock, because remember, in the picture, where's the picture here? This one here. In this picture here, this is, the Orca pool, not the show pool. The Orca and the Skull Rock, which was, are both in the same area, so we could have moved the Orca and the Skull Rock at the same time, because obviously the Skull Rock is needed for the show pool. So if it wasn't in there at the time, that would suggest otherwise. So the Skull Rock would be what we also transferred. The Skull Rock. Sparkle told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. And then she thinks Miss Buckler moved to the Orca pool, a roller on the Skull Rock. I'd like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock. Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the Orca pool with the hoist. show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the skull rock with the body inside. And then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the orbital room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. Do you really think there's enough space inside the skull rock to place a body? Suppose Buckler Flyer indicates it could be possible. Please focus on the question at the bottom left. Oh, it says, who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the skull rock? In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow. That would also explain this as well, we still have it? We don't actually have the picture of it anymore. Actually, no, we do have a picture. It was here, wasn't it? This would also explain the coins. It would explain the coins and also the hit as well, because one of the coins was stained in blood. So that would also explain if the body was in there, there's a chance that one of the coins could have been, I think with the blood as well. What's more, if the body was inside the skull rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions. Such as? Please take a look at the security footage of the scene Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall. What was Orla doing to the skull rock at this time? She was headbutting it. That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the skull rock. The body had been placed inside the skull rock and moved there from the show stage. You slow down a bit. So the real murder scene was in fact the show stage pull.
Silence.
What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the skull rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair. I don't know. Hang on one second, my notification didn't come up. Thank you very much for the follow, Garfield. I'm gonna check something real quick. Is my stream lag? There we go. That was a big delay. Thank you very much for the follow. We are getting to the end of this this case, so doing pretty well. Hope that you're doing well this time zone. My time zone is really weird. I think it all started with that half-baked bluff tip. It's a close one. You have a suggestion on what to do after the case? What would the suggestion be? If the murder took place at the show stage, then who is the perpetrator? It is naturally. Head into the animation studio for your Destinies. What's in the animation studio? I'm trying to avoid going in there just in case there's spoilers for other cases. But what is in the animation studio for this game? Is there something that I can miss, or? Because if it's something like that, I can. Oh, okay. You can play around with character animations and create your own. I didn't know that you could do that. That's actually kind of interesting. So you can make your own. I did not know you could actually do that. That's really creative, actually. You can make your own own cases. Okay, I will probably check that out after I have finished the game. I want to try and stay away from the extra stuff, only because we'll go and look at that once we've finished all the games, so I can avoid all spoilers. I mean, I can probably check it out at some point. We'll fiddle around with it. I didn't know that actually existed. I knew that there was a museum. I knew that there was like artwork and music stuff. Yeah, if I've got time, I can check it out at least. This stream might be short, so I'm probably not gonna have a lot of time. If I can finish this in less than 2 hours, then we can check it out. Weren't you the one who loaded the skull rock into the stretch of the show stage? Just depends on time. This stream's gonna be fairly short, just because I don't have a lot of time on hand. But if we do need to make up 2 hours, I will do that. Some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. Tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me. Are you confessing you gave false testimony before, Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the Skull Rock. And it's true the captain was killed in the show pool, too. Is admitting it that easily? This time I'm gonna tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. Yeah, I can always, give that a shot. We'll see if we get this. If I finish this before 2 hours, then I have some time. If I finish it after that, I'll probably have to finish early, just because I don't have much time on my hands at the moment. In the shoal pool, the orca shot the captain up in the air. And the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. When Mr. Bloom witnessed the orcas finding the body, I freaked. I did not know that that was a thing, so I guess that means the museum has artwork, sound stuff, maybe some behind-the-scenes things, like a movie viewer. I did not know that there was such a thing as the animation studio where you can make your own character, make your own story and stuff. That's I might actually try and do that. Try and make something. It's a really cool idea to add, because it wasn't it wasn't in any of the other games, I should say, as far as I was aware. If you were going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the Swashbuckler Spectacular. So I suggested she hit the body in the Skull Rock and move to the Orca Pool. I was gonna figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The Orca was the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me, it wasn't Sasha. So it was Mr. Rhymes' idea to hide the body in the Skull Rock. Mr. Rhymes is the culprit. Why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion, so why? Mr. Right, have it, you leave this to me. Athena, do you mean you heard something? Yep, noise. Discord in Mr. Rhymes' heart. So that means somewhere in his testimony, there's an inconsistency in his emotions. Alright, time to break out the mood metrics again. Oh, you're going back to Rainbow again? Please, I hope that the games go well. I hope that the games go well then. Thanks for stopping by though. Much appreciated. Hope the games go well. You're a little calmer, that's good. Welcome in, Nook, hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck in Rainbow. Good luck in Rainbow, both of you. You got it, boss. Alright. Mood Matrix time. Start solving some mysteries. What's this? What are you getting, Athena? This testimony is pretty complex. Feelings of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. Those two emotions appear to be running out of control. Out of control emotions? Is that going to be a problem? We'll have to probe their cause if we're going to get to his true emotions in testimony. There might even be odd or unnatural spots in his testimony he isn't even aware of. Alright, let's probe for this cause for out of control emotions then. Explain how to probe. Let's find the root cause together. When you see something off in a statement, press probe, which is that one. Next, point to what's causing Mr. Rhymes' out of control emotions. Finally, press triangle to complete the process. When emotions are out of control, memories can be recalled incorrectly. If you still haven't found anything after all the statements and images, I'll help. Great, alright. I'll get started comparing the statements with the images. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, before I go and do that, I'm going to turn the light on real quick. Alright, this one's a little different, actually. This one only has certain emotions, so, I'm guessing in this case we can't just, we're not analyzing the emotions yet, we're going to be just having to probe a certain scenario, so... sadness and anger. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the thin air. The captain calmed down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly, but the spectators here don't look like they're reacting at all. I'm looking at the spectators now, and they kind of don't look like they're reacting. They kind of just look like they're just chilling. They're definitely not just, they're not... Some of them look like they are, but they're not really doing anything. They're kind of just sitting there. So that's off. I find this really weird that would be the case, because, like, yeah, off the top of the thing, like... Something this orca finding the body, I freaked. I mean, I don't know how this is relevant, because, like, he wasn't even there, so he couldn't have done that, but we can't actually, like... I don't think we can do anything with the statement. I'm thinking that the most sus one is this, like, the spectators aren't reacting at all. So, they don't look like they're reacting, and we've got to probe a particular, like, area in the thing, like, the actual person. So I think the spectators are off, because they're not, it's saying what's causing anger and sadness, so we've got to figure out why he's angry and sad. But to me, the spectators are off because they're not reacting, so that's to me what I think the answer is.
Got it.
Doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been, those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. Right, of course. Just made a mistake. Oh, his noise is done. That's cool. Okay, that made the sadness subside. So maybe the spectator's part was what was making him sad. I wonder why he would make that mistake, saying spectators were there. How strange. The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another. Oh, is that what it was? Like he was in a similar situation before and it was deeply imprinted on his heart. A situation where an orca killed somebody and there was oh, that's what's happening. Okay, so that was what it was. I was getting it wrong. So I thought it was the spectators not reacting. Like, they didn't look like they were reacting at all. I thought that was what it was. It turns out it's because it wasn't that. It was more so, oh, he was confusing two similar situations. I guess I kind of get it. I think I know why he's mixing up his memories. The reason why Mr. Rhymes mixed up his memories is, well, the only other proof that we have that there was a second similar incident was this. The case from last year. There was a very similar situation that happened. So, Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why he slipped and said the owner was killed in front of spectators. How did you... You're right. I did see the orc kill somebody a year ago. What about it? It was just one of the... I was just one of the spectators. Yeah, Ace Attorney Investigations released 2 days ago. I am trying to buy the... I'm gonna wait... I have to wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna try and buy the physical version from PlayAsia, but their physical copies have they've got to wait for the stock to come in or something like that. So I'll wait till tomorrow to try and get it. But I was hoping to get it sooner so that by the time I finish Spirit of Justice, that I could then start Edgeworth, the investigation game. So it's probably not going to happen that way, but we'll just have to wait and see. Because I like to collect the physical copies of games, so I don't want to buy the digital version. It's another spectator. Must be a reason why you feel great sadness about that incident last year. But I have not played the investigation games, either of them, so I have no clue what to expect. And because we're playing Edgeworth, I'm thinking it has to be something opposite to this. It's not going to be the same sort of gameplay, so... Looking forward to seeing what it looks like and how it plays. And also that we're getting a... the last time we got a game that was not released in Japan, outside of Japan, I loved the 8 Great Ace Attorney games, so... Very much looking forward to those. Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point. Do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here? There is one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Well, I'm waiting. Let's see this evidence that has to do with Marlon Rhymes' sadness. The card. Of the charm, I should say. Yeah, it'd be this. Because of the... Yeah, it'd be that. There's nothing else that I can really suggest. I think I know how it's going in this case, but I think it has to do with this. Because these are also shared. Zora Summers died an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. What are you doing with that charm? Just found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you. Guess I need to push him just a little harder to make him admit it. When Mr. Rhymes said the word charm, he was very rattled. Better examine this charm a little more. Good idea. Let's look inside it. What's this? A photograph? There it is. There's confirmation right there. Hey, this is... Azura Summers and Marlon Rhymes? Mr. Rhymes, you and Azura Summers were a couple, weren't you? So what if we were a couple? Doesn't have anything to do with the captain's case. I believe you saw the orca kill your girlfriend. That's the cause of your sadness. Isn't that emotion of yours connected to the current case?
Silence.
The only thing you revealed was the witness's connection to the victim of last year's incident. What does the witness's past have to do with the case at hand? Don't know yet, but we managed to pinpoint the source of his sadness. Now let's delve into who Mr. Rhymes is angry at. Okay, guessing that would have to be... it would have to be the orca. Which statement do I press? So that's the issue, because it's like there's multiple of them with orca in it, I think, from what I remember. Let's check to see. Because the only person he'd be angry at would be Orwa. I would think, yeah. I guess it doesn't matter if since we're just probing, but let's see if anything's changed. So we're looking at the dead body clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. I still don't know what's up with this, like, with his reaction here. I guess I understand it, but at the same time, I'm not really entirely sure. I'm just gonna go with the first statement. We'll go with, I'm pretty certain he's angry at the orca, so this is probably the better one to pick. Just because it's actually in the similar situation, I guess. Let's go with that. So, Rhymes, you're angry with Orla, aren't you? Angry at an orca? Why would I be? Think I have some reason to be mad? I'll show you proof. We have proof. Do I have proof that Mr. Rhymes has a reason to be mad? Yes. I think we should have proof, yeah. Because of the death of the character. But that evidence we just took a look at would come in handy here. charm indicates you were Zero-sama's boyfriend. Sure you believe Orla killed your girlfriend a year ago? You lost your girlfriend, and so you've been angry at Orla. Alright, I'll admit it. I'll never forgive that Orca. Azura is dead, that Orca is still swinging around. Happy as a clam. I became an animal keeper just so I could prove that Orca was a killer. Right, I want that Orca to pay. There, do you feel good dragging up a person's past? It still doesn't change anything. Still got noise to break. He's right. Disagree, it does change things. It's out of control, emotion quieted down. And we should be able to find out the truth behind that emotion. Okay, now we can go and now we can go and pinpoint the right. Now we can go and actually like view the emotions correctly. Okay, in the show, pull the orca shot the captain up into the air, so anger and sadness, that would make sense. Got the canine slammed to the water, anger and sad, that would probably make sense. Dead would also have anger and sadness would make sense as well. Anger and sadness would probably make sense in this statement just because of, it would make sense here because of, like, being upset about Sasha trying to protect the Orca. That would probably be the most accurate way to describe that. Okay, this one here is this is probably one of the ones where it's like, why aren't you reacting a certain way? So all of these statements he's reacting sad and angry to, I think this is one of the ones where the emotion is missing. Like, where we have to figure out why there's a certain emotion that's missing. So in this case, I would think, if you witnessed the Orca, and it says you freaked, now, if freaking out is an emotion, the closest thing to freaking out would probably have to be surprise. Do I have consultation enabled? I don't think so, no. Actually, no, I do. But I haven't really been using it. I think I just had it enabled just because it was already, like, in case something happened where I just had, But it's only after you fail to present evidence a few times, which I haven't had that many times where I've actually failed to present evidence. So... I haven't really... I've got it on, but I can't really recall that many times I've ever had to use it. But yeah, I think in this case... this one's probably easy to... Like, this one's one of those missing emotion things. Everything else that's a statement here is, it's not really, I mean, you could say surprise here as well, but... I think the biggest one is this one here. So let's just go with surprise. Okay, that one wasn't delayed. Double shot JD, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. That was not delayed that time. I don't know why the first one was. The first follow was delayed, but the second one was right on point. Yeah, let's go with the pinpoint surprise. Mr. Plume witnessed the Orca finding the body. He freaked. What are you getting at? So I guess I have consultation enabled, but I can't really say that I recall it being used. I usually try to press all the statements just because I want to, usually for the most part, pressing statements, one, doesn't cost you any health, and two, if it's going to progress the story, it usually is, oh, add to the statement, or it's usually something like add to the statement, or present some evidence to do X thing. So I guess I could say that I haven't really Mr. Plume is a witness. Orla was guaranteed to be accused of the murder. Didn't it work out exactly as you hoped? In order to have Orla put down, you made sure Mr. Plume witnessed that scene. Plus, I'm also trying to avoid autoplay, because autoplay is So autoplay in these games, I believe, makes it so that the CPU does all the actions, because there are people that actually did some, they did some testing to see how long each case was. If you just have autoplay on, which is the fastest way to get through the, well, not the fastest way, but like, the fastest normal way a person can get through, just to see how long each case was. So I'm trying to avoid using autoplay as well, because the trophies get disabled from using that, so I'm not obviously doing that either. So you figured it all out, did you? Mr. Rhymes, you admitting it? Didn't really want to have to fight anybody but the Orca. But you leave me no choice. Wait, for a second there I thought he was going to start rapping again. Wait, what? Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Okay, he's a pirate now. Now it's time to get serious. I was not expecting it. This is like, I guess Popeye now. Oh. What do you mean, I mean, meat brothers represent Avasky grass eaters, say free. Take me words and pop them in your mouth. Scurvy grass eaters kneel. Yo, 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 ho, ho. Bro, I'm ready for the showdown. The pirate looks like something you would find in One Piece. I mean, probably. I've never watched One Piece. Well, I can't say I've never watched One Piece. I have watched One Piece. I haven't followed One Piece. Like, the only knowledge I have of One Piece is from, like some characters and just, like, what Death Battle have, done when they, like, break down what characters have done. That's pretty much my knowledge of One Piece. I'm not very, That rap somehow remind you of the Four... the Four Kids opening. Yeah, that's also what I remember. I know the One Piece opening, because of the rapping. Yeah. That's basically my only knowledge of One Piece. One Piece was a little after my... I think all those came around a bit later, like Naruto, One Piece, and all that. They came after I had gotten through, like, my anime phase, because most of my anime that I was watching was, like, Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Z, Card Captors, Sailor Moon, that era. So, like, you're probably, like, the Cartoon Network, the Cartoon Network era of anime would be probably the best way to explain it, even though I didn't watch it via that. So those came around a bit later. And I never really liked Naruto in the first place, so... What is going on? Where did this pirate fellow come from? Looks like a completely different person. This transformation, this is was not expecting that at all. Order! If we don't have order, Prosecutor Black will yell at us. Even Prosecutor Blackwell is a loss for words. So I planned to have that wench be a witness. Oh, you caught me out. It be true I thought that Orca's murderous ways should be found out. That be why I schemed to have the Plume see the body. So you admit it. You deliberately flamed Orla. Oh, it be true. But what skin be that off of anybody's nose? That Orca be a murdering scurvy dog. I may have a grudge against that Orca, but I always felt grateful towards the captain. The Orca murdered Azura, and the captain so of course she would walk the plank. So I never response to that. I agree it wouldn't make any sense for him to kill the owner. Why would he? But his hatred for Orla, on the other hand, comes through loud and clear. Wait a minute. Killing Mr. Shipley doesn't make sense. Who would it make sense for Rhymes to kill? Maybe my theory's been all wrong. Your Honor? I think I just became aware of a new fact. Oh, and what is it? Now that we know about Mr. Rhymes' intense hatred of Orla, turns the premise we've been arguing under on its ear. Now reveal the identity of the individual Mr. Rhymes meant to kill from the start. I'm guessing that in this case, if he wasn't trying to kill the captain, he was probably trying to kill all of them, because Sasha at this point hadn't done the only thing here that's done anything wrong in his thing at this point would either be Sasha or Aura, and he doesn't seem to want to kill Sasha. Nobody else here really seems to fit at the moment. So I think the only person that the only thing that he would want to try and kill would be Aura, as a way to get revenge for the death of Oscar. So the witness's intent was to kill the Orca? Exactly. The witness's intended victim was not Jack Shipley. From the start, it was all a scheme to kill Orla. The Orca was his true target, but Jack Shipley is the one who died. Maybe I shouldn't have put a finale on here. The Orca is alive and quite well. Although I did expect to have more time than what I did, so maybe it was fine. He's right. He wanted to kill the Orca, and yet it was Jack Shipley who fell to his death. How did that happen? Wait a minute. What if Mr. Rhymes wanted to kill Orla, was somehow connected to Mr. Shipley's death? At a loss for words, are you? What happened to your bravado a moment ago? Enough of these reckless words, without any basis, in fact.
Objection!
They aren't reckless words. The basis for my claim is that the real murder scene, show pool. What are you talking about? It's my contention that two incidents happened at the show pool. The attempted murder of the Orca and the victim falling to his death. First of all, in order to kill the Orca, Mr. Rhymes removed something from the scene. That would be the water. By doing so, he made it possible for Mr. Shipley to fall to his death. He did what now? Mr. Wright? What did Mr. Rhymes remove in an attempt to kill all? It would have had to be in the water, which is what happened when we were at the thing before.
Take that!
Because that would also remove any kind of way that the captain could have survived. Don't tell me you're trying to claim he tried to kill the Orca by draining the pool water? It's exactly what I'm claiming. To help the defendant with the cleaning, Marlon Rhymes took charge of all. With a plan to kill all in the show pool. Because the pool water was drained, it made it possible for Jack Shipley to fall to his death in the show pool. That's a swordfish, isn't it? Oh, I tried to kill the Orca, you say? You're just eating a swordfish in the courtroom. Okay. That's fine. Can you even prove they were nary a drop of water in the pool? That day I was simply looking after the Orca. Why, would I have the monstrous thought of killing it?
Objection!
Claim we're looking after Orla in the early morning hours of July 20th. But I didn't think you were doing a very good job of it. After all, Orla wasn't given anything to eat during that time. How would you know such a thing? I know because of Orla's record here in the torpedo data system. The system continuously records data on the subjects it monitors. From Orla's record, we can tell exactly when she ate, or didn't eat. Sink me, nobody's ever told me about that dastardly contraption. Only a few of the ship-shape aquarium staff know about this system. According to Orla's record, she never ate in those early morning hours of the 20th. Planned to kill Orla, and that's why you didn't feed her.
Silence!
You're wasting time. What proof do you have of that? Perhaps the Orca simply wasn't hungry. We do have proof of that, remember? We know that there was one day where Orca had no food and Rifle had a lot, I think. If Wallace simply didn't eat, then that would create an inconsistency. Where did her fish go? The fish? Good question. Where did it disappear to? Fish? What does it matter? What relevance does it have to the case? Cease this stolen and inconsequential questions. Stop delving into the depths of the orca's stomach and delve into the case instead.
Objection!
Wait, it may seem like a small inconsistency, but it's an issue of great importance, I think. What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? How could the fish disappear? Somebody must have eaten it. So who came to the show stage and ate all this fish? I think I might have a pretty good idea. I believe there must have been a visitor to the show stage that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice. Visitor? Really? Really light? Okay. Are you trying to introduce yet another suspect this 11th hour? If you utter more of your careless remarks, Taka won't look favorably upon it. Don't plan to utter any careless remarks. Whether my remarks will actually be related to the case or not, I don't know yet. Don't worry, boss. If Taka comes this way, I'll fend him off. Do try to keep your remarks careful. Somehow, all this fish disappeared. Somebody must have visited the show stage, but who? So it's the visitor to the show stage. Sasha Buckler, Homecoming, right. It was Rifle, because of the... There was a conversation mentioned earlier that we, I believe Rifle the Penguin visited the show stage. First an orca, now a penguin? Why would you be saying such a thing, Mr. Lawyer? I didn't see Rifle during the wee early morning hours. Do you have any proof Rifle visited the show stage? If ye be a lawyer of any sort, show me your evidence. Bottom of Rifle's feet were pink for some reason. In fact, it's a clue that Rifle was indeed at the show stage. Well, we have the signage, remember? I have to present that piece of evidence that connects Rifle to the show stage. If I go to the, where is it here? It's the... this here. When we saw this, obviously there were supposed to be stars and stuff along the thing, but we saw these two in the top left here. And then we've seen Rifle's feet have the same colored paint as this, so... that would have to be the difference. Surely it would have to be the difference. There we go. Back to the, lights back on again. And to prove I'm a lawyer worth my salt. This is the proof that Rifle visited the show stage. It was obviously the sign.
Take that!
We have the sign. What a cute little sign! Look at all those adorable stars! These stars are actually starfish. Miss Buckler painted this sign. In the early morning hours of the 20th, she left this sign at the show stage to dry. Mr. Rhymes kept an eye on the sign for Miss Buckler while the paint was drying. Aye, that be true, but what be your point? On this sign, it's proof that Rifle visited the show stage. Proof of the penguin's visit? I'm afraid I don't see it. Where is this proof that the penguin visited the show stage? Please point it out. We're gonna point to, obviously, the... make sure I get onto it.
Take that!
I have lost points because I wasn't directly on it. A couple of the pink starfish are shaped a little differently from the others. Oh, you're right. They look almost like little leaves. Rifle had pink paint on the bottom of her feet. These little leaf-like shapes in this sign are actually Rifle's footprints. Rifle made those footprints by walking on the sign before it was drying. What cute little pink penguin prints. So there are footprints. What of them? Well, the Rhymes watching over this sign at the show stage while the paint dried. During that time, the penguin paid a visit. Went to the torpedo data system. You know that Rifle ate something that morning of the 20th. Most likely, Rifle ate the fish meant for all that was at the show stage. Well, the snack was a small quantity of fish. Even a penguin could have eaten it all. Begad, Rifle ate all this fish? Who will be ye to say Rifle ate all this fish? She could have picked up food anywhere. But that doesn't change the fact that I really was at the show stage. After all, I had to help move the skull rock. It could have been moved without me. The witness claims he never saw the penguin. How do you explain this contradiction? Both Mr. Rhymes and Rifle were at the show stage, but Mr. Rhymes didn't see her. So where could Mr. Rhymes have been at the time? I don't know if you're up to the task. You could disprove this witness's testimony for you. If I leave the prosecutor Blackwell, Sasha will be declared guilty. Can't let him interrupt this line of reasoning. So right, let's try to figure out how things looked when Rifle came to the show stage. So Rhymes at the show stage, keeping an eye on all are the same. We know it must be true because he helped remove the skull rock, sorry. Then Rifle came in and walked over the side. Wouldn't Mr. Rhymes notice Rifle if he was right there? Well, let's think about where Mr. Rhymes could have been. Is there a place in the show stage area from which Rifle couldn't have been seen? It would have been via the water, because if it was like too far down. Inside the pool? But you're right. If he was inside the pool, he wouldn't have noticed Rifle. So you're saying Mr. Rhymes was underwater the whole time Rifle was eating? No, not underwater. When I think about what he was trying to do, the answer is clear. Now I'm finally starting to get the whole picture. Just like yesterday? Must you two always be whispering to each other? Why did you admit that resorting to a penguin will get you nowhere?
Objection!
Oh, I don't know about that. The fact that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice Rifle is such a small inconsistency. It's a key point that proves what Mr. Rhymes was trying to do. The penguin is a key point? Show stage pool is very deep. If Rifle came to visit while Mr. Rhymes was at the bottom of this pool, he would have never noticed Rifle. Orcas can be out of the water for a short time without sustaining damage. But if they're out of the water for a long time, they weaken and eventually die. In order to kill all, Mr. Rhymes has drained the pool. And while the pool was drained of water, Mr. Shipley fell to his death. Show stage pool is about 65 feet deep, which is like the Orca pool. Without water in the pool, a person could be made to fall 65 feet. Mr. Rhymes probably wondered what to do. If he continued with his plan to kill Orla, how would he dispose of Mr. Shipley's body? So he devised a plan to kill two birds with one stone. What? How? Mr. Rhymes went down to the bottom of the pool and put the victim's body in the rock. He then had Miss Buckler move the rock and the body together.
Silence!
And the witness made the defendant do this somehow without arousing a suspicion? That's right. Shipley told Miss Buckler that she couldn't perform the new show. Miss Buckler became upset and wanted to switch back to the old version of the show. So Mr. Rhymes conveniently suggested that she take and hide a prop for the new show. Mr. Rhymes then manipulated Orla using her singing and lifesaver tricks. He schemed to have Orla find the body while Mr. Plume would be standing witness. He saddled Orla with the false charge of murder so that Orla would be put down. Wait, was he just... I was gonna say, was that blood that was coming out, but I'm guessing it was the rum that he was drinking, or the wine coming out. I didn't even realize that the holes could get him to do that. So the fact that the witness didn't see the penguin shows that when Rifle visited the show stage, Rhymes was putting the body in the rock. At the bottom of the pool, that is. Who would have thought the presence of a penguin could prove the witness's actions? It's working. Just a little further now, and Sasha will be proven not guilty.
Silence!
If you think you've won this battle, you are sorely mistaken. Your theory is based on the notion that the witness could manipulate the orca. The witness can control the orca's actions. Of course not. What kind of bill would be that? I be but a flat, simple animal keeper. My memory serves. Wasn't Miss Buckle the only one who could issue commands to the Orca? The judge's blade is sharper than the lawyer's. If you wish to do battle with a witness, you'll need a honed blade. Where is your sort of evidence that Marlon Rhymes could have had the Orca? Rhymes had to have manipulated Orla in order for his plan to work. How can I prove it? Well, what appears this line of reasoning has become unsustainable.
Objection!
Well, it appears that I was mistaken. Athena, I've analyzed the hearts of all kinds of people. I have enough experience to see when I look into your heart that you haven't given up. So that objection was my way of speaking up for your heart. She's right. Why would I become a lawyer again only to give up? I have to keep fighting. Athena, thank you. With your help, I've remembered the old right way. The right way? Your Honor, I'm not finished with presenting my arguments. Do you have anything else to ask this witness? You've cross-examined all the witnesses and presented all your evidence.
Objection!
All the witnesses? I don't think so. I haven't cross-examined the most important one, the central figure in both cases. Wait, are we actually going here? The central figure? One involved in not only the case a year ago, but this current case too. I've never called her a witness, but it's time to do so now. Who are you talking about? I demand you tell the court immediately. Who was the central figure in both cases? We're actually doing it, right? How are we, like, and they also said her as well, like, are we actually going to be cross-examining a whale? I guess that makes my job a little easier, because I don't have to voice the whale, if that is the case. I guess that's the only central figure that we have in the thing. The defense calls the central figure in both cases. All of the Orca. Okay, how are we going? How are we doing this? You intend to cross-examine an Orca? Cross-examine an Orca? He must be addled. It'd be impossible, says I. Yeah, I'm wondering how they do that as well.
Silence.
This absurdity is beyond the pale. How do you expect to question an Orca, a creature incapable of speech?
Objection!
Orla is intricately involved in this case. I have every right to cross-examine her. Besides, even if she can't speak, I think cross-examining her will be invaluable. How's this gonna work? Very well, do what you will then. But if you fail to garner anything from this little exercise with this Orca, I hope you realize the reward for your efforts will be the defendant's guilty verdict. I'm ready and confident. Cross-examining Orla, huh? That was a bold move, boss. Now all we have to do is figure out how Miss Rhymes manipulated Orla. That's right, now it's Orla's turn to help us save Sasha. An Orca defendant yesterday, an Orca witness today. This is truly unprecedented. But even though this is highly unusual, I'm prepared to allow it. Ready the witness telecast. We'll have a 10-minute recess while the telecast is being set up. Oh, really? So 6.5 hours, like, well, 6.5 hours yesterday. We're at an hour and a half at the moment. This case is 8 hours long. Over 8 hours long. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the game today. I wrote down a finale, but at the same time, I don't know if I have enough time. We'll see how it goes. Because we're getting a day 2. So unless this day 2 is like really short. When was the last time Phoenix Wright cross-examined an animal? I believe it was it case... I think it was in the very first game. The last case of the first game. I think. With the It was either the last case or the second last case. It was a parrot. There was a parrot that he cross-examined. I don't remember. I know case 1-5, the last case of the first game, is Rise from the Ashes. Case 1-4 is the one with 1 Karma in it. It's the one where DL6, they reference the DL6 incidents. So I think that might be the case 4 or 5. It's one of the two. So it would have been it was in the first game, I believe, from what I remember. I don't remember any other animals being cross-examined in the games. Talking about Goodbyes is the 4th case of the game. It might have been that then. It's the one where the parrot repeats DL6 about the DL6 incident. Yeah, I've reached a checkpoint, but I still have some time to stream, so... July 22nd, 11:21 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Yeah, I've reached a checkpoint, we still have some time, though. I'll just see if we can, how much we can complete. Should you check out the animation studio for the intermission? Can I do that during the game? Because technically we haven't finished this case yet, that's the other thing, like, yeah. I have saved the game, yeah. I just saved. I mean, if you want me to check out this animation studio, I can do that. We have a little bit of time. Plus it means that I can finish the case at another point. Alright, I'll do that. Let me just check. It has saved, right? I should be able to reload this save at some point. Like, if I check it out for this thing, it's fine. I'll just do that. Alright, I guess we can do that during the intermission. Just because, we'll check it out. That way, next stream I can, or if I run out of time, I can do that. Let's, I don't think I should need to save. Because I've already saved my progress at the other point. Any progress since your last save will be lost, but we did make a save just then, so it should be okay. Alright, I'll have a look at the animation studio. Again, I don't have a lot of time anyway today, so we'll just, there's no spoilers for this. Let's check. About half an hour or so, just fool around in that. Museum. Oh, museum. Oh, never mind, museum. Just as long as it doesn't spoil anything from the 3rd game. As long as it doesn't spoil anything from the 3rd game, I'm fine with it. Let's go to Animation Studio then. Let's see what we're... Oh, okay, you can pick between all 3. Alright, we'll go and do Dual Destinies one, because that's all you want to see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never actually done this before. We have a little bit of time just to fool around with this, I guess. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at all the different characters. Phoenix, Athena, Simon with Tarka, Edgeworth, the Judge. So I guess it's like you make your own scenarios, right? Let's have a look at what. Change the characters and the outfits to the left. Okay, so you get basically access to every single character that's around. And then, because there's like 41 different outfits, change their poses. So what have we got? Nod, head shake, desk slam, objection, smug, embarrassed. Embarrassed hair pop. There's a lot of actions. Cold sweat, taking damage, making a face. Default, angry, surprised. And I've got also the voices. Okay, so everyone has their own objection, take that, hold it, gotcha, and got it, I think. Well, not everybody, only certain characters are voiced. Interesting, only, okay, so they've got Apollo, Phoenix, Athena, Blackwell, Edgeworth, Clavier, Gasp and Pain, and Juniper. And then obviously we've got, oh, and then, okay, so it's just like a, yeah. It's just like a little animation thing where you can just change it. I mean, I don't know what I would really do with this. Like, is there options? This is really, it's just like, oh, you pick a character and then, you can change the background music as well. Oh, I see. So it's like you can change the, so I don't know, let's have a look and see what we, let's make something. Let's see, let's put it on something we haven't actually seen yet. Let's have, let's put, I don't know. Let's put Phoenix in his nostalgic sweater. From, I think this was from the second or third game. And I guess each character has their own... I'm just not really sure what I would really do with it. I thought for a second it was going to be like you make your own scenario, but I guess it's just kind of like, hey, just make your own, like, and then, like, you can just... It's interesting that you can have other characters' voices play as this thing.
Silence.
Oh, so that's what it is. I thought it was gonna be something a little bit different actually, but maybe it's maybe I'm just not thinking enough. And like mouth flap on. Hide the UI, music and background. So you can change to any background from the entire, like, series as well. Okay, I have no clue what some of these mean. I don't know what the actual oh, that's green screens. Yeah, so I'm not sure how the green screens would work. I guess you would have to, like, would that be, like, custom backgrounds and stuff? Because I don't really have any, like, oh, you can chroma key the background and edit stuff in. Oh, okay, I get what you mean, yeah. See, I'm not very creative, so I'm not really sure, like, what I mean, like, I like the, and I can change the music as well. Oh, okay, so it's just like, okay, so it just, so you can change... You can basically have any character with any sort of, like, voice line and... Okay, I kind of get it. I'm just not really sure, like, what I would get out of this is the thing, because, like, you can only make one scene is the issue, like, I'm... Unless I'm not seeing something. Wait, what did it... Oh, it changed his, So I guess only certain lines work in certain areas. You can't do a desk slam. You can't do a desk slam, in, So you've got, different animations. You've got, like, the courtroom animations, and then you've got the, actual, thing animations as well. It's kind of a cool idea. I thought for a second it was like, oh, you could, like, make all these scenes, like, multiple of them in a row and just keep, like, and, like, make your own story, but you can't really do that. Or at least I'm not seeing that anyway. Still works in the thing, so the, I didn't know this was here. Was this a feature in any of the original games, or was this just added for the trilogy? It's kind of cool that they added something in, but I thought we were gonna get like a. I thought it was gonna be something like, oh, we get to like make multiple of these scenes, and you can like make a story like go from like multiple scenes and play them, but it just seems like we can only edit the characters. We can only edit which character we want to pick, and then like just characters and animation, some music. I mean, it's a neat little feature. I guess the games would be too vast if they tried to have a feature where you could like, hey, make your own like make your own case, or make your own maybe they could do that for Ace Attorney 7. When they make that, they could do their own case, make their own you know, do like a case editor or something like that. We can, I guess if someone modded the game, they could also do it. But I'm not really sure what else I could really do here. Like I'm not like, I feel like I've already like kind of explored everything I would want to look at for this. Not seeing anything new. Yeah, I don't know if there's any. There's nothing else that shows up. Like, you can't even save it. That's the other thing. You can't even save your. You're not even able to save your animations either. Unless there's something else that I'm missing. I mean, I guess I could check out the other ones when I'm finished, but like. Did I play Ace Attorney 4? You mean Apollo Justice? Yes. If Ace Attorney 4 counts as the Apollo Justice game, then yes, I played that one. The only one I haven't played yet is Spirit of Justice. Yeah, I don't want to touch Spirit of Justice yet, just because I want to leave that alone. Let's have a look and see what we got. Yeah, you got garlic sandwich today. Yeah, I've played all of them in order. Well, technically, in this trilogy, I played them all in order. So this should have less people, I think, because of anybody that we haven't seen yet. It's interesting that you can have. Oh, I guess we did see him once, yeah. So that would be. Let's see what else we could make with this. I don't know. Let's have a look and see what else we could make. Who's a character that we haven't seen do anything? I finished like 7 years ago. Yeah, I haven't actually done. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. And then we've got like. There's actually a little bit less animations here than there were in the original game. Oh, in the previous game, actually. Well, I guess it's because we've got DS and Nintendo DS. So technically this is the last of the three. This is the last of the traditional DS games. Who else do we have voices for? Apollo, Phoenix from present day, Clavier, Gaspin, and
Objection!
Crystal. Crystal, I was about to say. Speech bubble? How do you do speech bubble?
Objection!
Wait, speech bubble? Oh, oh, these are the speech bubbles. That's, sorry, that's,
Objection!
There we go. And then if I change the background, we can change it to anything. Wait, really? Okay, there's no, you can't change the... Interesting. You can't change the... Okay, I find this very strange. So you can't change the background. You can't change the background for, Apollo Justice, but you can change it for the other games. The only backgrounds you get in this one are, the only backgrounds you can have here are the courtroom. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they didn't allow that to happen. Like, they could have just had a free background to do something like that. Like, I don't see why not. I guess we can try a blue screen, like, just see what it looks like. I don't know what it... Oh, I don't like that at all. Green screen? I mean, how are you supposed to change it? That's the issue. Like, green screen is this, but you can't really, like, do anything with it. At least I don't think I can. It's kind of like, I thought you could, like, add your own images or something. That would have been interesting, but I doubt they would allow you to do that. Also, what changed is, the green screen is a tool for chroma keying backgrounds, yeah, to get transparent images, but the thing is that how would you be able to, how are you able to do that? How are you able to do that outside of, like, in the game is the thing? In a video editor, I guess. Okay, so okay, so that's what it's for then. So they want you to, like, use this for other reasons, I guess is the best way to put it. It's an interesting, it's interesting. Like, obviously, if this was expanded on and they made it so it's like, hey, I want to, you know, this is obviously the start of something that they could do for a related title. Like, oh, you know, do you want to make, like, a short little, like, case script or, like, a short little, like, you know, back and forth. Like a back and forth kind of, you know, interaction between two things. So it's an interesting concept. Like, I'm not too creative in terms of when it comes to making stuff, but you know, like, I could see people making some really cool, you know, green screen effects, and if they expand on this a little bit further with, like, you know, a new game or something, then why they could make something where it's like, hey, make your own, like, investigation, or make your own case or something like that. It's a cool idea. Like, what can I really say? It's a cool idea to be able to say, hey, pick a character, pick a voice line, you know, pick a certain animation, add some backgrounds in. You know, all you would need to do at this point is just be like, hey, add some text fields so you can put text fields in. Maybe, like, have an area where you can add some props as evidence. You know, have, like, a custom evidence, you know, screen. Be able to transition between different scenes, and then it's like, you know, you have something here. I'm not really sure what else I could really, like, show off, but, yeah, it's a handy little, like, animation thing. I don't really know if there's anything else I could really, like, show off in there. I think they should definitely try and expand on this, like, just to... Because I think there would be someone who could make some really, check the accolades. That's, I think those are all my trophies. Yeah. These are all my trophies. I think this is a good idea for me to... Yeah, these are all story-related ones. So 6 out of 8 for forensics. That's Spirit of Justice, that's Spirit of Justice. Spirit of Justice. The step ladder stuff. 5 things for the house plant, and then we still need one more of these. But I do like that it shows you, like, hey, what you're missing. I think that's a really cool concept. So I've still got to Fingerprint and Luminol. Interesting. That's... Oh, okay, so they've probably changed the, Fingerprint and, Luminol testing's probably been changed in, Spirit of Justice, that's why. But yeah, I'm gonna get all the accolades anyway, because I am a trophy hunter, so, I do have, I am gonna be getting all the trophies. And then obviously I haven't missed any of these. No, they're all Spirit of Justice. And then, these are Spirit of Justice as well. And then this is also Spirit of Justice, so yeah, we're doing pretty well. Like, again, I haven't missed anything, so, once we finish, do Destinies, we pretty much just have to do everything else in Spirit of Justice. Like, we're definitely getting there. We're not too far off. There's a lot of trophies still to get. And obviously the Platinum as well, which is the, Tony's, looks like a ring of some sort. Still have some time. I don't know how long the rest of the case is. But yeah, the accolades, I am intending to get the, I'm intending to get the Platinum. I guess after that little detour, we should, get back into the game, maybe. Thank you for showing me that. I would have checked it out later, because I just hadn't, when I saw that there was, like, artwork and concept art and things like that, it's like, oh, I'll check that out after I finish the game, just so I avoid any spoilers, but, you know, hey, didn't know there was an animation studio in there as well. And videos. Yeah, they're probably, from the thing. We'll check those out at some point. I did not know that existed in an actual animation studio. Again, expand that a little bit further, and you could probably have, like, a creation thing, but I think they would need to go off of something that would, I think they would need to do something else. Also, yeah. Thank you for showing that, though. Let's, get back into the trial, I guess. Finish off the, or try to finish off the trial. If we don't, then I'll come back and, in another stream and just finish it off and maybe start Spirit of Justice at that point. It's a neat little thing. One recommendation before you play Spirit of Justice, watch the Prologue. Does the Prologue play... Typically, the Prologue should play prior to... the game starting, though, shouldn't it? Or is it gonna be like this game? Because this case technically is a Prologue to most of the other cases, I think. If it plays... It's in the museum. Really? Why is it in the museum? Shouldn't it play when you start Spirit of Justice? Why would you put the Prologue, why would the Prologue be in the museum but not in the actual game? That's weird. Because if that's the case, I'll have to keep that in mind. Unless there's some reason that they didn't put that in there. Maybe the reason they didn't put the Prologue in there is because they didn't want you to see it yet. I guess I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind when we go and play Spirit of Justice then. So that means there might be some extra videos in the museum that we haven't seen for the other games. So that's I'll check that out when we go and do a museum tour, I guess. Like a more in-depth museum tour. Because I do like to look at artwork and the video stuff if there's any extra stuff that we missed. Leave it to you to think of something like calling Ola Mr. Rain. Well, she's the only one who knows all the answers after all. Part of me is thinking now that There must be a reason why they didn't include the Prologue in Spirit of Justice. And the only reason I'm thinking is that if I watch it, there's a chance that it's going to spoil something else. Because one thing I haven't liked about some of these cases is that typically the first couple of cases, they spoil who the killer is, and I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't do something like that. Yeah. It's the prologue of the game. Yeah, but I'm wondering why they decided not to include it is the thing. Because usually when you start up the game, in the actual screen, it starts it with a video in the first place, so maybe I'm wondering if it's different. Now we have to try and figure out how Mr. Rhymeson prepared Orla. Put Mr. Rhymeson and Orla together, maybe we can get some kind of clue. Can't forget about that strange set of prints of rhymes either. They figured the prologue will take too long of an intro, I think. Okay, I will, I guess we'll do that. I was not aware that this was the case. So that means when I do Spirit of Justice, I'll play the prologue to start with, and then we'll go into the actual game. I didn't actually know that was a thing until now, so... if they're saying it was too long, then that's fine. We'll watch the prologue. And no idea Marlon hated all of that like that. I feel like I've been struck by a torpedo ray. Of course, he would hate to kill a whale that murdered his girlfriend right in front of him. Are there any others that are like that? Because I haven't looked at the Apollo or this game's videos stuff, so I'm assuming that I haven't missed out on, like, something that was... There weren't any prologues to those that I missed out on. So I'll go back and watch them anyway, but... you know, on stream, but... At least if I know about the prologue for the third game, I know. Oh yes, I came to make a declaration of war! Declaration of war? No matter what the results of today's trial, I will report the truth in my new book. Even if that truth goes against what I wrote in the Killer Whale Whale. I know what the truth is. Not even what happened a year ago. But the crab... Azura died right in front of my eyes, in the middle of a pirate show. He suddenly fell from the orca's back, began to thrash around in pain. The orca was singing a song, and started headbutting Azura over and over. Finally, the orca took Azura in her mouth and brought her to the side of the pool. Just before she died, Azura was holding her chest, in obvious pain. She was holding her chest. Wait a minute. Could it be? Could be the heart condition. Because, didn't they say both of them had a heart condition? Fairly certain they said that, Sasha and, Azura had the heart condition. I don't think Orla was to blame for the incident a year ago either. I think the cause of Miss Summer's death might have been her heart condition. Heart condition? What heart condition? Never heard anything about it. Miss Summers had a prescription with Hickfield Clinic for her heart condition. The orca didn't kill her. I think it's possible her heart condition did. Azura had a heart condition too? Guess she hid it from everybody. Just like I did. So that means... the orca was innocent a year ago too! It's just a theory, but I think the orca headbutted Azura to check on her. Then did the lifesaver trick to rescue her. So there was no need to put the orca down after all. So you really did intend to put Orla down? No, Jack and I are against such a thing from the start. You said you were going to euthanize the orca. Yeah, I've been wondering about that. Dr. Crab, about this capsule. It's not a poison, but a sleeping drug, right? That's right, even if Orla attacks someone. Or even if the Center for Dangerous Animal Control demands she be put down. I never had any intention of killing her. Oh, you sleeping pills to make it look like she was dead and then set her free. I mean, that is... I've never thought of that myself. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. That, you know, if someone is, like, ordering something to be put down, that they don't just... try and do that. because they already know that the animal itself isn't dangerous, so they just release it back into the wild. It would not surprise me if that happens in some cases. Because at the same time, like, we are, like, if in a controlled environment, we are, you know, in a zoo and stuff, or an aquarium or something, we are technically manipulating the animal's behavior in some ways. And so, in some part, we are to blame for our own, you know. Just like a couple of days ago, there was a woman who jumped into a lion enclosure. It's like, okay, so is the lion is a lion bad if someone decides to jump into the enclosure and attack and do stuff? Like, to me, it's like, that's the fault of a human, not the fault of the lion. Its natural instinct is to be like, hey, I'm hungry. Hey, there's food here. Oh, but, you know, my natural instinct is to like, again, trained or otherwise, it's like, we're still dealing with animals, and, I think people need to understand and respect, like, respect them as well. Not be stupid by jumping into the enclosure. That's why I purchased so many sleeping capsules. That's why. I never considered the possibility that this poor woman's death was illness. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Garfield. Hopefully I see you again. Thank you for pointing that little detail out that I didn't know. We'll, might go back to that in thing. Thank you for stopping by. She seems pretty disturbed, to be wrong. I simply want to know the truth. That is why I would tell you who my client is. The day I witnessed the owner's death, I was there at the request of the animal keeper. Marlon rhymes. That is correct. The day my client called me to ask me to investigate the orca pool. I must have wanted you to witness that, what all I was going to do. Why did you decide to tell us this? My desire to protect my client was standing in the way of the truth. I couldn't allow that. I will be watching to see how this all unfolds. Good luck to you, blue and yellow duo. That was quite a bombshell she just dropped. So casually, too. That woman really is a free spirit. Do you remember what you said yesterday, Mr. Lawyer? That you'd expose any secret if it would help save Sasha? I remember. It's my duty as a lawyer. Well, I just wanted to know that I don't blame you for exposing the aquarium's secret. It may put me in hot water, but if it helps save the orca, let me clue you in on another secret. Focus on the orca's song. The orca's song, huh? What could he be hinting at? Mr. Wright, looks like it's time. Alright, let's go back in. So if I'm looking at this second trial and thinking the same period of time, obviously we stopped it at around like an hour and a half-ish or so. We're still got like another an hour and a half potentially to think. So maybe what we can do for, if we run out of time is I can do the remaining trial and then maybe just start the start of Spirit and Justice just to get that, say, hey, we're going to start, get that uploaded, and then the next day we can do something really, I don't know, I'll think about it. I haven't thought about it very much, I will just do what I think is, what is best, I guess. So I really am running out of time. Got it, boss. I'm gonna go in there and save Sasha and all that together. April 22nd, 11:30 AM. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Is the witness Ola Shipley, commonly known as Ola, ready? Well, the orca is present, but I highly doubt she understands what's going on. Just as adorable as yesterday. I distinctly remember you being afraid of her on several occasions. Now then, Mr. Wright, how do you propose to cross-examine the witness? Tend to have the young lady there with Orla help me. Hello, everyone. That young lady. Didn't I meet her once before? A long time ago? Yes, that's Pearl Fay, my old friend. Well, didn't she grow up to be a lovely young lady? I have no interest in this chit-chat. On with the cross-examination. Mr. Wright, this is all your fault. Why are you dawdling? How is this my fault? Court will now hear the testimony of all Shipley. Yes, we are about to get the testimony from a whale. Okay, how all was manipulated. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Do you seriously intend to cross-examine this orca? Oh, she's a key witness for the defense, after all, sir. Every time you come to my courtroom, you open my eyes to a new way of thinking. It appears this will be another one of those times. Yes, it's giving me the go-ahead. Like now to put the witness and Mr. Rhymes together to see how he manipulated the orca. They all will have some kind of reaction. Fine by me, but not will happen, I would tell ye. Mr. Rhymes was right. Nothing happened. Because I shouldn't have expected it to be easy. How did he manipulate her? I don't know, I hope you realize that if you can't prove that with this cross-examination how Miss Rhymes controlled the orca, your defendant will be declared guilty immediately. Yes, I realize that. It's my last chance to figure out how Rhymes commanded all its duo tricks. Please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Okay. So I can press every statement.
Hold it!
Shipley, I'm afraid Fleet is not going to get us anywhere. This is your plan of action? If you are incapable of interpreting orca speech, this entire exercise is folly.
Objection!
You leave the interpretation of all is hard to me. Alright, go. What you gotta say? Let me hear. Yeah. I think I have run out of time. Oh, you're so cute. I think I have run out of time. Looking at the time now. I'm only gonna be able to go for 2 hours. Right, don't know. Sure, you don't intend to continue this farce. Yeah, I might have to end it here, actually. So... I mean, I wasn't going to finish the case anyway, even if I didn't do the, extra detour with the other stuff, but, I think we'll, yeah, I was intending to go a little bit longer today, but I, had to wait, like, a bunch of time because of, the upload. But it is what it is. So, again, I don't know how long this trial part's gonna be. It's probably gonna be about another hour and a half or something around that point, so... Next stream is probably gonna be another short one. It's gonna probably be, the remainder of this trial, and then I guess we can watch the prologue, for Spirit of Justice in the extra section, and then we can get started with Spirit of Justice itself. And then we will probably like do another short stream, another 2 short streams I would think, and then we'll just be back into what we were doing normally. But yeah, as I thought, like these shorter streams were gonna happen anyway. But it is what it is. I can't really do much about it. Yeah, we think that Rhymes has done it, but we are also not really. We have to figure out how he did it, and also like why. We're figuring out everything at the moment. We've also got to figure out stuff with the connection with Orla and stuff, and I'm sure Azra's connection with that as well is also interesting. I mean, I liked the transformation of Marlon. It was becoming a buff pirate by drinking all the rum. And then again, the animation studio thing was pretty interesting to see. The what is it called? The you're seeing all the accolades and stuff. Again, if they have an animation studio section and they expand on that point, they can definitely make something that is certainly different. So we'll just see how all that goes, and yeah, I don't really have much to say because we haven't really. It didn't feel like it did that much. We kind of just got down to, hey, Orla's innocent, hey, Sasha's innocent, and then we're doing the whole testimony for the Orca, and we've also established how people are dying, and now we're going to figure out the why and how, who, and all the other stuff as well. I don't really have much else to say, so we haven't really done a whole heap of stuff in the first place, so yeah, we'll just, we'll end it here. Another short stream. If I can get another stream done tonight, I'll do one. If I can't, then we'll just come back tomorrow with a short stream, and then we'll should be into Spirit of Justice, where we can not have as many short streams. I wasn't expecting this case to be as long as it was, so because we already did 6.5 hours yesterday, it was like an hour and a half, a little bit over than that today with the stuff. We'll just see how everything goes. I don't really have anything else to add. I don't think, because we already talked about the animation studio. Again, I said if you expanded on that, because you've already got the characters, the sounds, the background stuff, all that good stuff that you can have. It's an interesting little thing to look at. But yeah, we'll just end it here. I think today I thought we could get this trial done just because we were at, I figured because we were at the end of trial point. Figured that we were getting to the end of the trial, but then we've just got this entirely new one to go and have to do. So, yeah, we're definitely going to finish that at this point. So, I feel like I'm rambling. So we'll just stop from there. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like, comment, and subscription for this video, you get some monetization. Some more content built. It's called more accessible to find. I upload my past access as well as Let's Plays and Let's Plays to the YouTube channel. Also have a games list from the games we currently completed on stream. All the upcoming games I'm updating at the moment. Games we set to buy DLCs and stuff for speedrun stuff. I'm uploading all the stuff on YouTube at the moment is all the links that I'm having to post up. It's mainly because of YouTube messing up everything that's been going on. Also, I put everything to YouTube because I've set a limitation on my videos before they're there permanently. There'll be a separate place for everyone to find my content. I should do so. Also get a notification when I go live watching on YouTube. I'm looking more past segments for games we have the Plat and Trophy, as well as a switching things segment for games on the Switch. Along more Trilogy experience, or Gadara experience, Pokemon else, we'll continue with those. That is how you spell Twitter. The live notes are done. Just gotta find time to do those. The stuff's about halfway through. I've been working on the Pokemon Traveler notes. What is it called? The challenge speedruns. I also have to look up and figure out what I'm going to do for those once that happens, which will be no kills ninja, 100 kills ninja, and all set boss rush, and maybe a couple other things. Mostly pacifist and genocide route for Live Alive, so you can look forward to seeing those and maybe some other things in the future if we get to that point. And you'll also get a notification when we're live on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. 220 followers. We're doing Pokemon Let's Go EV speedrun, and we're also getting closer to reaching affiliate. We're currently about 2.8 average. These two streams have been kind of weird. They've been, well, this stream's been short, but not really. Not really consistent. Last stream was weird. We had like a really great start, a really great end, and then like the middle was but for some reason it still kept me at the 2.8. So we're getting really close to the affiliate goal there. So maybe after some hours drop off, we'll be fine. But I don't know. As long as I keep hovering around that point, I'm eventually going to reach there, because I was hovering around the 2.4 to 2.6, and then I had a really good stream for the last couple of streams, and they ended up going to 2.7 to 2.8, which is the highest we've reached so far. So it's just a matter of getting there, I think. And some of these shorter streams are going to probably like affect it a bit, but again, we'll figure it out. So I get to be monetized as well. Thank you very much for subscribing, emails, and supporting me in the channel going forward in the future. Also get extra 7 days uploaded from my videos as well, and you'll also get a notification when I go live on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter to be notified when I go live. Join my Discord. I also invite to my friends to Discord server, close to 2,000 members. Still going strong. Gamers to discuss there as well. I'm going to there, you should get a notification when I go live as well, and if you should know information overlay that you should want future content. Going forward, you can find a link down below and scroll for that as well. So as always, I will send someone over to raid, see if there's anyone online. Typically if someone's trying to reach affiliate, I do take on raid requests if anyone has any, otherwise I will just see if there's anyone that I'm currently following that will raid, because I'm getting close to affiliate, and at this point in time, like once I get to affiliate, I probably don't need to rely as much on the raids, but it's always nice to have them as well. But I try to raid whenever possible. Let's see if there's anyone online. If there's no one that has anything. I know that there was someone I was watching. Actually, are they still online? No, they're not. Someone I was watching earlier, they were online for 20-something hours. They're not live anymore, though. Okay, I got like a bunch of people. Okay, let's see. You know what? I'll raid Shadow again. I've got a few choices, but again, I'm trying to get Shadow to affiliate as well, and they're slowly getting there. And they were also in here earlier. Let me just make sure the name is correct. I think it's this. A few people actually online. I got like 4 potential raid targets. I don't like this knock feature. It keeps mentioning, hey, knock to like collaborate. It's like, I don't want to do any of that crap. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I am trying to help them get to affiliate. They're doing some Rainbow Six at the moment. Let me just make sure this is the correct. Yeah, that's the correct one. They're doing some Rainbow Six at the moment. They're also trying to get to affiliate. They've recently like started working on some of their getting their animations and stuff done too. So any help that I can give them will be good. So. With all that being said, have a rest of the day night wherever you are, and I will see you all later. Potentially later today, but we'll just have to see how much time there is.